guys want to fire away?
Chris, what does it mean to have a 3-game winning streak in terms of confidence and just the way the building the program and the team?
I think confidence, it means a lot. You know, I was hoping that we would start to get rewarded for some hard work. I really felt like, you know, we had, even at 0-3, we had played well enough to maybe get a win out of there, and we weren't able to. And you know, I think it's good feedback for these guys, as you know, with the young team we have. Just if we stick to the process, things can work, and we can get results that we're looking for. Not to take away from improvement and so on and so forth, but I think with confidence you can get more out of practice because there's a little bit of swagger in their step and so on and so forth. So you know, from the program side, I don't think it means anything for me personally. You know, I just from the team side, I think that you know, they've got a little bit of positive feedback in the work they've been putting in. Now, like we've been talking about going into league play over the next 4 or 5 weeks, we're going to have to really pay attention to what makes us good and the details that are in our game and hopefully good, complete 60-minute efforts as we move forward here.
Coach, how important was it to get some secondary scoring from guys that are young and are just starting to get, you know, playing time? How important was it to see them find the score sheet this weekend?
Very important. I think we're going to need. I'm not sure if we can call it secondary scoring or not. We're going to need to score by committee for sure with our team. There's just no doubt about that. It was nice to see. You know, I think we're talking about Vaselli and Fink, and specifically in terms of points and chipping in offensively. Neither one had really played in the game. I think Fink played the exhibition game, but they both had worked extremely hard. And it was nice to see them get involved in the score sheet, and you know, to get an overtime goal from a defenseman is always nice. So we are going to need to score by committee, like I said, and not really look at 1 or 2 people to carry the load for us. And it was nice to see this weekend and be able to chip in.
Any surprises so far? Any players or particular areas that you're doing a great deal better than I thought?
No surprises really. I mean, to see those 2 young guys go in and be as effective as they were this past weekend, I think it'd be unfair to say a surprise, but it was nice to see. You don't really know what's going to happen. You don't play for 6 games. You keep telling them to keep working hard and control what they can, which is their daily focus and practice. But there hasn't been any positive reinforcement in terms of go out in the lineup, and then their confidence had to have been wavering. So those 2 guys, I would say, as close to a surprise as what we've had so far. But I think for the most part, it's been pretty consistent with what we've seen since August 23rd. A good, solid effort in everything we do. You know, the one effort that wasn't very good was the Clarkson game from start to finish, the Friday night game, and it obviously showed in the result. But ultimately, these guys have been pretty focused and pretty willing to work from the beginning of practice or beginning of the game to the end. I mean, that's been pretty consistent. So I wouldn't say there's been surprises. You know, I think it's been pretty consistent in what we were expecting.
Looking at the tape from the past weekend, what kind of things did you pick up that you guys need to work on this week?
It's just the execution. You know, we need to execute better. Our special teams is not to where we want to be. We've talked about this every week at all levels, and that needs to improve. We need to execute better in special teams, but we need to execute better all over the ice, and we're still stressing that means with and without the puck. It's not just with the puck where you're making plays and executing. And watching the tape, we are still a work in progress when it comes to that. And we're not going to take our foot off the gas. We'll continue to point it out in practice, continue to emphasize that in practice. And like I said before, with their work ethic and hopefully a greater attention to detail and a greater attention to executing, we can, you know, really improve as we push forward.
You mentioned with getting 3 wins in a row is building confidence, and you even threw in the word swagger. How do you kind of put a cap on that in terms of making sure that guys don't get too overly confident, or they don't get too, I guess maybe for lack of a better term, cocky as of getting a few wins under their belt?
The only reason I mentioned the word swagger is because I think, you know, teams that believe in what they're doing have a swagger. When they put their gear on, they believe they're going to win, and and they believe they're going to compete at a high level. By no means are we going to allow any type of overconfidence or cockiness to slip into our locker room. That's going to be from our lead. That's going to be a consistent message every single day that, you know, our focus is that day. And we're not going to worry or get too far ahead of ourselves and start believing, you know, we've won 3 games, but we've also lost 3 games. And we've got a long way to go to do the things that they've all said as individuals and we've talked about collectively and doing, and that is making an impact on the CCHA schedule. Right now we're 0-2 in the league. That's not very good. You know, you look at the standings, we're at the bottom. So the focus is, you know, tomorrow morning's practice, get up to Alaska, have a good skate on Thursday, and get ready to compete at a high level Friday in our 3rd league game of the year. And we need to, you know, we want to make an impact in the CCHA. Well, we've got to focus on Friday night, and that's it. So I think the lead comes from us. We make sure that we don't get too far ahead of ourselves. And like I said before, the reality is we're 0-2 in our league, and if we want to make an impact in our league, we have to play well, win league games, which we have coming up.
Moeller and Williamson okay after Saturday night?
Yep. They, you know, Williamson was one, obviously, we talked about. We really wanted to be careful with that. He skated real hard on Friday in the non-dresser skate, and we felt good about putting him in Saturday. And then Moeller's shoulder. It seems like we gave him ample time to get that rested up. We had a good hard practice today, real physical, real intense, a high competition level, and he seemed fine. So.
And nothing new out of the weekend injury-wise?
No. I think we're pretty good.
Coach, you talk a little bit about Alaska. What do you expect to see from them this weekend?
You know, I just think Alaska plays the game the way it's supposed to be played. You know, I think they're really good defensively. Not to where everybody, they're great defensively, and they're a good offensive team too. I mean, I think they're a pretty well-rounded team. I don't think they rely on 1 or 2 guys to carry the load. They've got good goaltending. They've got a good D-core, and their forwards are pretty deep. So we expect them to be a really good competition. You know, we're going to have to be ready to compete and execute at a high level, just like we are every other week. But there's no easy nights in our league, and you know, they went to Michigan State and had a real good effort with a tie and a shootout win, and then on tape anyway, didn't look like they were as good on Saturday as they were Friday. So we're expecting them to be really good. I think it's their first 2 league games at home, so we're expecting it to be not a very friendly environment up there, but that's fine. That builds character and it builds family, and that's what we're looking to continue to build with the travel up there. And, I know it's going to be difficult, and we've been telling our guys that's get ready, you know, be prepared for it. It's no different than any other week in our league.
Talked about Vazelli and Fink earlier. Do you think they're going to be making the trip?
All indications are they are. I mean, we haven't put up the travel roster, but we want to reward guys for playing well, and they both played pretty well.
For a trip of this distance with the time zones and so on and so
Yeah.
forth, are there things you can do to get acclimated besides just getting there as soon as you can?
I mean, I haven't done anything that's worked. I mean, obviously as an assistant coach, I mean, you know, we try to do whatever we can. Basically, what we felt, as you just said, we try to get up there as quickly as we can. I mean, it used to be everybody would fly up there Thursday, get some kind of skate, and then you're playing Friday. Now, more times than not, people are flying up there Wednesday. We'll be there 10 o'clock Wednesday night, which the body clock for the boys will be 2 in the morning. Get some kind of sleep, and then we'll have a pregame skate Thursday afternoon. Not a pregame skate, sorry, a practice Thursday late morning. You know, I think just try to make it as kind of routine as possible in terms of road trip when it's not routine. You know, we hopefully we'll be there long enough and have a couple of skates under our belt where Friday night we can be ready from the drop of the puck. But if you look at, I think the statistics show that the visiting team up there usually doesn't play as well on Friday as they do Saturday. Why that is, I don't know. I don't know if the Nanooks really do a good job of jumping on teams early Friday. I guess maybe that's not fair to say. In my experience going up there, the Friday night effort usually isn't as good as the Saturday night from the visiting team. So we're going to do our best to just stay focused and get as acclimated as we can. by skating, by just relaxing, by doing what you'd normally do on the road, and then hopefully by puck drop on Friday night, which will be 11 o'clock, and what the time the boys will be used to. But so what? That's the deal. And we're looking to go up there and, like I said, compete extremely hard.
With all that being said, with the time difference, with this being a very young team, for a lot of guys, this is their first trip up there. Does that mean that there may be a little more room for error on Friday night in terms of play on the ice, just getting acclimated to that whole first, long distance road trip?
Well, that's not going to be my mindset. I'm not expecting any room for error. We have no room for error with the competition level we're playing. We've got practice Thursday and practice Friday to get any errors or any cobwebs or any plane legs or travel legs, if you will, out. And that's the focus. We have no excuse. We're there plenty of time. Our focus is to be ready come dropping the puck on Friday night, and I don't see any reason why we wouldn't be. It was an interesting thing. I was talking to one of the players. Only 3 guys on this team have been up there before. I think it's Krylov, Solway, and McIntosh, or Eno in there too. But apparently only 3 of them. For whatever reason, one of them didn't make the trip that normally would have as a freshman. So this is new for most of them. And I think from the young guy perspective, hey, you do what you're told. You jump on the bus tomorrow at noon, and 10 o'clock at night we'll be in Fairbanks, and that's the deal. And then we'll have plenty of time, like I said, to get that out of our system and get ready to play.